guys, it's Bree. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite podcasts, and I am currently on the High Line in New York City, and there's literally not a freaking soul around. So it's probably because it's freezing out, and I'm really cold. My hands are like literally turning red, and that's why I have a hat on. I was gonna take it off, and I'm sorry I just don't look cute, but I am freezing, and this pigeon is just staring at me. But anyway, I thought this was like a little pretty view for you guys to look at while I film. But I'm sorry if the audio is messed up because it's super windy. But anyway, I'm just gonna get into the podcast that I like, because usually when I walk around in the city, I always have my AirPods. Oh my god, I didn't even take them out. They're like keeping my ears warm. I always have my AirPods in, and I'm either listening to music or a podcast, just because you walk a lot, and it's just something to kind of like keep my mind going. So these are some of my favorite female hosted podcasts, and I know you guys will definitely like at least one of them. So what I'm gonna do is tell you the podcasts that I like, and I'm also gonna read a little bit of their bio on Spotify. So the first one I listened to is Manifest by Tori D. Simone, and it says, Manifest with Tori D. Simone is a podcast all about paving your own path through health and fitness. At age of 20, Tori was able to open up her own spin and fitness studio. Basically, Tori had a YouTube channel. Her name's Tori Sterling. I mean, it's technically Tori D. Simone, but when she first started out making YouTube videos, I actually watched them a long time ago, and she would do a bunch of makeup looks, and she lived in LA, and then she kind of just like got out of that phase of YouTube and moved back home and opened up her own spin studio. So her podcast is all about like health and fitness and tips, and just her kind of like chatting about her experiences, and I really like her podcast. That's good to listen to if you want some Monday morning motivation, because she gives a lot of like definitely health tips more than anything. Okay, now sticking in more of like the health and fitness category, I also want to mention Happy Hour by Gretchen Garrity, and she is also a YouTuber. Actually, a lot of these podcasters are YouTubers as well. And so Gretchen used to row D1 for Boston University, and she's super into like Soul Cycle and all that stuff. If you guys watch her videos, and like Maggie McDonald, you would see that they like love their spin and stuff like that. So Gretchen's podcast is pretty much just about that. It's really new. She only has a few episodes out, and it's again more just health and fitness, and Gretchen's like super happy and bubbly. So if you want a happy podcast, then listen to hers. Okay, so now moving more into like chatty podcasts. I listen to these when I'm bored and none of my friends will pick up the phone and talk to me, so I want to feel like I'm having a conversation with somebody, or at least involved in what they're saying. So I would recommend Gals on the Go by Brooke Michio and Danielle Carolyn. Again, they're both YouTubers. Danielle goes to University of Georgia, and Brooke used to go to University of Georgia, but she graduated and now she lives in Boston, and they have a podcast together. You definitely feel like you're in the conversation. So if you like want to listen to something where you feel like all of a sudden you can just like talk out loud and be like, oh my god, girl, yes, that is so their podcast. And I swear, like every time I listen to it, I'm talking to myself, just sitting there like, yeah, that's right, yeah, me, same. I also really love listening to Katie Bellatti's podcast called Thick and Thin, and Katie is specifically interesting to me because she works at L'Oreal in New York, and she talks about things where like she'll name places that she goes or things that she does, and it's in the city, so I resonate with it a lot. But her podcast is about the musings of a millennial girl living in New York City, about life, love, and everything in between. So she talks a lot about romance and dating and life. Like she gets super deep, and she has a very like soft-spoken voice and is like more chill. So if you're kind of winding down at the end of the night or just want something casual to listen to, then Thick and Thin is a good one. Now, to get your day started in the morning, I would highly recommend listening to The Morning Toast with Jackie and Claudia. They are so freaking funny, and they put out an episode every single day, and you guys, it's like just everything about pop culture, celebrities, gossip, like, and they are absolutely hysterical. So if you want to start your mornings on a high note, then I would go over and listen to their stuff. But their bio is take a bite out of the morning toast weekdays at 10:30 a.m. with Girl with No Job and Jackie O. And you guys probably know Girl with No Job because she posts a lot of like memes on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. live on Facebook and YouTube, available as a podcast too. So they stream their videos on YouTube as well as upload them to, you know, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. I like to listen to my podcast on Spotify, but if you guys want to watch their podcast, like a morning show type of thing, you can do that as well. Now, my friend Tiffany also has a podcast. I definitely look up to her for business advice, and she's a really big role model to me, so I'm sure you guys will like her too if you want to learn definitely a lot about starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur or just doing something that you're passionate about and you want to make money. Tiffany will help you make money. So her podcast is called Project Me with Tiffany Carter, and her bio is, you landed in the perfect place if you want to make more money and enjoy doing it. See what I'm saying? So Tiffany's going to help you monetize your shit. Join your multi-millionaire female entrepreneur host Tiffany Carter as she shares success, business, and wealthy building tips, strategies, and stories in her unique style. Tiffany takes the mystery out of making big money and interviews incredible people with amazing stories and action-worthy advice. So Tiffany does solo episodes as well as interviews, and they are just so good. If you guys just want a ton of information for free about everything business, check out Project Me with Tiffany. Another business-oriented podcast, and the reason why I'm like struggling to say business-oriented is because I feel like this podcast just covers all the bases, and you guys are probably familiar with it. It's called The Skinny Confidential, him and her podcast with Lauren Everett's Bostic and Michael Bostic. They are just so much fun. They're married. Lauren is actually pregnant right now. I mean, I swear I know everything about her because I follow her on Instagram. Her and her husband Michael are like a perfect duo for the podcast, and I was just listening to one yesterday. If you guys saw my Instagram story, it was with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, and they interviewed him, but like they also do beauty stuff and business and fitness and lifestyle, and they interview like the coolest top people. Like, I don't even know how they get all these interviews, but I swear to God, like every cool boss celebrity they interview. Last but not least, I have I Love You So Much with Kenzie Elizabeth, and it says, welcome to the Kenzie Elizabeth podcast, hosted by lifestyle vlogger Kenzie Elizabeth. On this show, you'll find interviews with influencers, artists, authors, experts, entrepreneurs, bloggers, and thought leaders. This podcast serves as a guide to branding, relationships, productivity, mental health, and overall living your best life possible. Now, I definitely will say that because Kenzie is so productive and she does so much with her day. If you guys watch her vlogs on YouTube too, you would definitely see that. And the Skinny Confidential podcast, like Michael Bostic started Dear Media, and Kenzie is signed with them. So like the Skinny Confidential and I Love You So Much with Kenzie Elizabeth are under the same roof. That's why I mentioned them back to back. But yeah, Kenzie's podcast is really fun, and she also does interviews, talks a lot about how to kind of like get a lot out of your day. And again, she's like girly too, so she'll mention products and what she's liking at the moment and just fun stuff like that. So that is it for today's video. I forgot to literally mention my most favorite YouTuber's podcast ever, Lauren Elizabeth. Hello. If you don't listen to Mood by Lauren Elizabeth, then you're definitely missing out on life. I met Lauren's family, mom and sister, at the Highline last weekend because her sister was touring schools in the city. It was so random. I literally walked past and I was like, are you guys Lauren Elizabeth's family? So it was really funny. But I love Lauren. I love her YouTube videos, and her podcast is awesome, and I just think that she is like so real all the time, and I just love that about her. And she's super goofy, and I just love listening to her content, watching her content, but especially her podcast. It just came out and it's called Mood, and you should go listen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you listen to podcasts, and if you don't, then you should definitely get into it because they're super fun, and I just get bored of music and I want to learn something. So podcasts are a great alternative if you're just struggling and you don't know what to listen to. So I love them. You should start listening. You can do it on Spotify, Apple Music, the podcast app, like whatever you want. It streams pretty much everywhere. But those are my top 9 favorites, and if you guys have any too, I want you to let me know. Sorry, my hair is like getting in my mouth and I just don't know what to do about it, and my hands are so cold. But anyway, there's so much going on, and let me know down below if you have any podcast recommendations because I would love to hear them. And I hope you guys like that I also made sure to feature like all female podcasts because gotta support the fellow girl bosses, am I right? So So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you like when I show like where I am. How sick is this? Like, I'm literally at the High Line in New York City. If you guys have never been here or seen it, like here's a little glimpse, but I post a lot on my Instagram stories too, and I come up here relatively often, so you can follow me on Instagram if you want as well. But subscribe to my channel so you guys don't miss my next video. I'm so excited to post more. Like, it's just awesome. So, alright, I'm gonna stop talking, but I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LA BB, who we running with.